The guy's nuts.
He was encouraged by his legal counsel to plead insanity. Edward would have no such thing being said about him. His crimes should be studied as examples of perfection. He chose to dismiss his defense team and represent himself. If the evidence was not so overwhelming, he may have had a chance, but Edward was handed a life sentence at Blackgate Federal Penitentiary, located on a solvated island in Gotham Bay. The remote location and harsh environment that surrounded it made escaping not an option.
You see, Arkham Asylum was meant for the criminally insane, the one that society had cast out. But when all these super criminals began to appear in Gotham, the city realized that Arkham just wasn't enough. Blackgate was retrofitted with everything it would need to house special case criminals like Victor Freeze, Kirk Langstrom, Waylon Jones, to name a few. It only made sense that someone like Edward Nygma would end up there. Blackgate had the facilities to contain a man whose intellect was so sharp that he would escape any normal prison.
After many years of incarceration, Edward Nygma had become extremely agitated and bored. He was slightly relieved by his responsibilities of being caretaker of the penitentiary library, but he was still cursed by his own mind. Eventually, the agitation gave way to compliance. When Tim Drake, or Red Wing as he was now known in the crime-fighting world, came to a dead end in his investigation of the sequence killer, Victor Zars, Tim had the idea to interview Nygma. He hoped this would give him insight into what made thrill murderers like him tick. The Riddler, now much more amicable due to the years behind bars, readily cooperated. Tim was not prepared for the games the Riddler would play with him. Edward did help, of course, in the capture of Mr. Zars, but he used the relationship with Tim as an opportunity to attempt an escape. It was thwarted at the last minute by the Red Wing and the Spoiler. The interaction was not wasted. It was an early attempt at what eventually became criminal profiling. Tim Drake utilized this new technique and pioneered it for a new generation of law enforcement during his career later in life with the FBI. Edward Nygma lived out his days in Blackgate. Even though he was compliant with his imprisonment now, he still resented the guards and hated the Batman for putting him there. He may have been resigned to his fate, but he would never forget the one who was responsible for it. His idea of the perfect crime was not as perfect as he would have liked to believe, and his self-proclaimed genius and moral recuse were ambiguous at best. The Batman was able to see through his trickery and put an end to the reign of the Riddler. While the Riddler hated the Batman, he also had a grudging respect for the vigilante. The Bat had bested him intellectually, and that truth haunted Nygma and seeded doubt in his own mind about his beliefs and philosophies. Riddler died in Blackgate many years later, and no one mourned for his death, as he had alienated himself from society by claiming to be intellectually superior. His parents were dead by his own hands. He had no family or friends to speak of. When he died alone. The Riddler's reign was over. What do liars do after death? They lie still. For a few, life in Gotham was plentiful and reaped nothing but rewards. For others, those rewards had to be snatched from the city's very flaws. Selina Kyle was one such person. Even from her early years, she had been known by the Gotham City Police Department all too well. She never quite felt like she fit in where she was born. She had lived in an abusive home and took it upon herself to run away late in her childhood. Her father had been a drunkard and a small-time criminal, and her mother was verbally abusive toward her. She felt like the people who were supposed to provide her with protection and nurturing had stolen away her childhood. It was no wonder that she truly felt at home out of that house. It was here on the streets of Gotham where she was picked up by Miss Rose, the most powerful madam in Gotham. Selina became Miss Rose's right-hand woman, managing all of her establishments and taking care of problems as they arose. With this came wealth, power, and in a sense, security for Selina. Selina became a master manipulator, blackmailing many Gotham figureheads and representatives. She would put them in compromising situations, then photograph them to use as leverage to gain what she wanted. Aside from this, she was not opposed to also using violent force to get what she wanted. As times changed and the years progressed, Miss Rose fell out of power in Gotham. Crime lords like Falcone and Penguin took the center stage, their outfits taking over many operations. Miss Rose was caught in the crossfire of their takeover, killed by the gangsters. Selina found herself back on the streets of Gotham, fending for herself. Her safety and security had been ripped away once again. This taught her an important lesson. To be just herself made her vulnerable. It made her a target. If she was going to be somebody in Gotham, she needed to be a myth, a legend, untouchable. She was, of course, enraptured by the Batman. Here was someone who used his own myth to strike fear into the hearts of criminality. Someone who also didn't quite fit in. What if someone were to utilize that in a different way? This would allow her to avoid being vulnerable again. Even though she was inspired by the Batman, that is where the likeness ended. Choosing the cat as her model of persona, its feline attributes matched her personality greatly. She had become the Catwoman. She did not care for stopping crime, she sought freedom. Freedom from expectations, freedom from the law, and freedom from the flying rodent, as she often referred to the Batman. She wanted the freedom that, in her mind, only money could buy. Utilizing her new persona, she became one of the greatest cat burglars in the world. She would travel all over, increasing her reputation as well as her wealth. Although she practiced her craft worldwide, her heart would always bring her back to Gotham. It was her base of operations, and she could not bring herself to abandon it. The other reason she frequently returned was because Gotham was the one place where she felt challenged. The challenge came from the Batman. The relationship between the Bat and the Cat was a complex one. They played many a game of cat and mouse, interchangeably seeking the other one out. There was also evidence to suggest that, even though they were on opposing sides of the law, they may have shared some romantic entanglement. Perhaps the similarities between the two of them was a cause for allure, that they both realized there was a kindred spirit in the other. Perhaps they realized that neither one of them quite fit in. We may never know. During the Shadow War in Gotham City, the Batman enlisted the Catwoman's help in the fight. She was a major player in the combat that ensued. After many years as a cat burglar, and many more adventures with and without the Bat, the latter end of Selina Kyle's career took a different turn. Gone were the days of wielding a whip and stealing jewels and other precious objects. She now stole and traded in something that she considered to be more valuable: secrets. Selina had become part of the wealthy society scene in Gotham through trading these secrets. The secrets of the very people she would socialize with. Some of the most rich and powerful in Gotham were held under her sway. The Batman would rely on her assistance from time to time on finding individuals or information, but she often turned him down if the need arose. She might be a criminal, but she still had a code as a professional criminal. Many years later, after the retirement of the Batman, Selina Kyle used her amassed wealth to help out the poor and unfortunate women of Gotham City. She went on to create and run a much-needed women's shelter in Gotham's poorer district. She used her funding, and the shelter also acquired funding from the Wayne Foundation. Even though her life was a complex web of burglaries, extortion, and other such crimes, Selina hid a heart of gold beneath it. She fought for the right side when it really counted, and while she enjoyed holding wealth and power, she ultimately used it to help others in need. Some chalk it up to her sometimes allying with the Batman, but still more know it was because deep down, she really cared about Gotham and its people. Selina Kyle ended up being a force for good in Gotham. They say that as you age, you become who you truly are, more and more. That was the case for her. With Selina Kyle's recent passing, some remember her as a thief and an extortionist, but many more, especially the women of Gotham, remember her as having helped them in a time of need. What she had snatched from the claws of Gotham City, she had given back to its people. In the wake of the Great War, fewer people were allowed immigration to the U.S. from Europe, but some were still admitted. One such person was Victor Fries, a scientist from Austria. He had traveled to America to further develop his research into the newly budding field of cryogenics. He expected to find much in his research, but what he did not expect to find was true love. It was here, in America, that Victor met Nora. The two fell in love and soon became married. She was the only one who could melt his heart. Soon, Victor's research began to gain the attention of many important people. He was approached by the board of GothCorp, the second biggest company in Gotham. They offered him funding for his research and a laboratory to house his experiments. With Victor at the lead, GothCorp was in a full-on technology race with Wayne Enterprises to find the next big breakthrough. This soon began to unravel, however, with the discovery that Nora was sick. In fact, she was dying. Victor thought that his research might be the key to her salvation, beginning to embezzle funds from GothCorp to advance his experiments faster and faster. This did not go unnoticed, and he soon found himself being confronted by the GothCorp board of directors. They moved to forcibly shut down his experiments and lab, but Victor, in pure desperation, tried to stop them. His attempt resulted in machinery being knocked loose, spraying him with an experimental sub-zero substance he had developed. It changed the very fiber of his being, increasing his strength, allowing him to be immune to pain and sickness, but at a terrible cost. He could only survive in sub-zero temperatures. It was soon after this incident that his wife Nora passed away from her illness. Victor, upon this tragic event, gave in to his anger over his grief. He constructed a suit that allowed his body to stay in an environment of extreme cold. He weaponized his cryogenics technology, creating a freeze gun which he used to assault the members of GothCorp's board. His vendetta against those who, in his mind, were responsible for his wife's death rocked Gotham to its core. The city's occupants saw fluctuations in the weather, experiencing snow in the dead of summer, stretches of frozen road causing multiple accidents, and in some cases, death. The police tried their best, but Victor Fries, now dubbed Mr. Freeze by the Gotham Gazette, proved too much for them. The Batman, having learned Victor's tragic reasons for his actions, confronted him, trying to reason with the broken man. Try as he might, Freeze's heart was cold as ice. The only person who could have thawed it was dead. In a climactic battle, the Batman defeated Freeze by breaching his containment suit, causing him to be incapacitated.
Jack Ryder here, bringing you a live report of the battle between the Batman and Mr. Freeze. Much of Gotham's business district is covered in a blizzard to rival the Knickerbocker storm of 22. The Batman seems to be gaining the upper hand. Oh, Freeze just blasted the Bat with his freeze ray. Now Batman is reaching for one of his utility pouches. Zing, zing, pow! He knocked Freeze's gun right out of his hand. It looks like they're about to say something.
They're going to kill him and put someone else.
Victor, they had nothing to do with it. You'll pay for what you've done to this city.
Only time will tell whether or not the Dark Knight will be able to thaw this conundrum of cold. Stay tuned, Gothamites.
Because of his extreme condition, a special containment cell was constructed for Mr. Freeze at Blackgate Federal Penitentiary. It allowed him to survive in lockup as long as he didn't try to escape. It was the start of Blackgate's special inmate program, which took into account special cases such as the Man-Bat and Killer Croc. Victor's story was a sad one, though eventually even his anger gave way to nothing but coldness. He was a shadow of the man he had once been, and there was no melting his heart this time. He remained a prisoner in Blackgate until it closed its doors. His enhanced biology allowed him to live much longer than the average man. Eventually, once the prison was closing, and having served his sentence, he was released in the dead of winter and wandered into the wilderness. Some claim he traveled to Antarctica where he could live out his days in peace, while others claim he died once winter passed. No one knows for sure. Some of his technology surfaced during World War II on both sides of the war, but not much else is truly known about what happened to Victor Fries.
In 1954, at the first Cryogenic Engineering Conference, his work was discussed in great detail, for even in spite of his erratic behavior, Victor had made strides in the industry. His work helped lay the foundation for modern cryogenics. This did not absolve him entirely, however.
At the end of the day, his legacy was one of ice and cold. Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin, or Red Wing as he was known. All of these are people who were inspired by or directly involved with the crusade of the Batman, but none were as directly inspired by him as the Batgirl. The daughter of Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon, Barbara Gordon was one of the very first admirers of the Batman. Crime fighting was in her blood. Creating a costume of her own and donning a mask to hide her identity, she came flashily onto the crime-fighting scene. Some would say her costume focused more on fashion than function, but she made an impact nonetheless. Even though she could not use the tool of fear to combat criminals, she found her own effective methods of making an impact in crime fighting. The Batman soon began to take notice of her effort in the fight on Gotham's underworld. He tracked her down and officially welcomed her to the Bat Team. She was living her dream, fighting crime and being an ally of the Bat. All of that came to a startling end because of the Joker. One fateful night, while visiting her father, James Gordon, Barbara went to answer a knock at the door. She was greeted by the pale smile of the Clown Prince of Crime. She didn't even see the gun before she heard the gunshot that hit her. It hit her spine, paralyzing her from the waist down and effectively ending her career as the Batgirl. Though her body was broken, her spirit was not. She may have been wheelchair-bound, but she found another calling in the Bat's crusade against crime. Taking the codename Oracle, Barbara offered her support to the Bat Team through logistics and investigative skills. While the Batgirl's career might have come to an abrupt end, her example inspired many to take up the cause. The Batwoman, the Black Bat, the Spoiler, and the Huntress were such people who were inspired by Barbara's moxie and spirit. As the years went on, Oracle became invaluable to the Bat Team. After the golden years of the Batman's career, Barbara attended law school, pouring herself into becoming Gotham City's very first female district attorney in 1948. Her family's name held sway in Gotham still, and helped her to build trust with the city's lawmakers and citizens. With the career of the Batgirl, a new dawn shone upon Gotham citizens. Her bravery, her flying in the face of danger, helped people to see that anyone could stand up to the darkness of Gotham's underworld. Many more did rise in her wake, and many more made a difference as a direct result of the inspiration caused by Barbara Gordon. Whether or not the Batman's impact on Gotham can be proven to have been good, The Batgirl's impact reverberated on for years to come, and
There's
she
no
continued
good
to see
at
it to
all.
fruition long after.
Like,
Although
what
she
you
is
guys
no longer with
doing?
us, Barbara Gordon will always be
Seven
remembered for the
kills.
strides she took, paving the way for women in Gotham and helping those in need. In the early 1920s, the many fields of science were continuously being developed and refined. This also meant that there were many gray areas. One such gray area was in the work of Russian scientist Ilya Ivanov. Ivanov had the full backing of the Stalin regime in the field of study and experimentation pertaining to crossing animal DNA with human DNA. He had given presentations on such theories as early as 1910, but did not receive enough funding until much later. He attempted many experiments. Wanting to stay ahead in the science race, a branch of the United States government sought out any scientist they could to spearhead their own experimentation. Dr. Kirk Langstrom had been working in the cross-species field for years to develop ways of helping humankind. The US government approached him and offered him support and funding if he would work for them. Langstrom accepted, jumping at the opportunity to further his research. He started really making progress in his experiments, and things were advancing beyond his wildest dreams. What he did not expect was that he would start to lose his hearing. He saw his position as an opportunity to find a cure for his oncoming deafness. He refocused his research to look into bats, wanting to find a way of utilizing the sonar capabilities of their ears. This detour from his normal experiments caused problems. The US government decided to threaten him with a cease of funding as the project seemed to be going nowhere. Langstrom suddenly found himself with little time, minimal funding, and a newfound desperation. He made the drastic decision to experiment on himself. No one knows how, but Langstrom found a way to bond himself with bat DNA. It transformed him from a studious scientist into a gangly hybrid monster. His ears became large and pointed like a bat, his fingers became like claws, and his behavior became animalistic. Confused and drastically transformed, Langstrom wandered into the city, causing mass panic and dismay. Many people were injured during the mayhem. The US government abandoned their project altogether, seeing it as a failure. No such attempt on cross-species genetics has been made since. The Batman, seeing the pandemonium while on patrol, went to investigate, and managed to bring the beast down. Langstrom was transferred to Blackgate Federal Penitentiary as a new addition to their special inmate program, and fitted with a custom cell where he could be observed and potentially cured. Curing the Man-Bat, as he was dubbed by the Gotham Gazette, proved to be impossible. Langstrom's research and notes were nowhere to be found and are still lost today. Therefore, reverse engineering the process was not an option. Being named the Man-Bat, like a cruel play on the Batman's moniker, seemed to drive Langstrom even further into his animal behavior. The records of what became of him are also lost, but some claim he may still roam the island on which the former penitentiary resides, and if you listen hard enough, you may just hear the inhuman screeching of a bat. Opera was at the heart of the performing arts for centuries. Many rising stars were pioneering modernism in opera, as well as other such trends. And one such rising star was Basil Carlo. From a young age, Basil showcased extreme talent in the performing arts. He was considered a prodigy by his parents and groomed for the operatic theater from childhood to young adulthood. His talent shone through, earning him fame as a local celebrity in Gotham. He was widely acclaimed, appearing in such performances as The Bride of Dionysus, The Gambler, and many others. But as is too often the case, fame and power can turn even the most talented to corruption. Basil Carlo was no exception. As he became older, he began to turn to the bottle to cope with his fame and fortune, becoming depressed and paranoid. He was also beginning to leave his golden years behind, and he was worried about the prospect of being ushered out. At first, this didn't affect his performance or interaction with the other performers. He continued on like normal, singing and maintaining appearances. No one was the wiser to his internal struggle. As time went on, however, the stress caused him to drink more and more, losing himself in the liquor. His once dignified and amicable personality became twisted and even abusive. He would lash out at his fellow performers, and even got into some physical altercations with them over minor disagreements. These incidents continued so much that he was eventually let go by the Gotham Opera House. The disgraced singer, still stuck in his depression and alcoholism, tried desperately to find work somewhere, anywhere else. After much searching, he began to realize that no place in Gotham would have him. Word had spread of his drinking problem and erratic behavior, and no one wanted the bad press that Basil Carlo would bring. His worst fear was realized. He was no longer relevant. He was a disgrace. He felt alone, unnoticed, and forgotten, and soon his depression turned to burning anger and hatred. In an alcohol-fueled rage, he plotted to burn the Gotham Opera House to the ground, with most of his former colleagues still inside. Though he felt unnoticed, he was not. His actions and erratic behavior had attracted the attention of the Batman. Though Carlo was not the Batman's main focus, he kept tabs on him nonetheless. Basil set about to execute his plan, laying some of the accelerants he'd accumulated, but was intercepted by the Bat. The Batman stopped Carlo from injuring anyone, but in the scuffle, Basil was severely disfigured. He had spilled some of the accelerant on himself, then desperately tried to light what little he had prepared, but only managed to set himself ablaze. He was horrendously burned that night. Carlo went into a coma and was hospitalized for months. When he awoke, he was dazed, confused, and shocked at his horrible disfigurement. He escaped from the hospital, stumbling into the streets and hiding in Gotham's slums. It was here where he hatched a plan to get back at the Batman for causing his disfigurement. Attacking random civilians at night, he sought out the vigilante's attention. His horrendous appearance gave birth to the moniker Clayface, as his face seemed amorphous and shapeless due to his burns. Basil Carlo always hated the name, but he hated the Bat even more. He continued on this mugging and sometimes murder spree until he was apprehended by the Batman and Nightwing and remanded to GCPD custody. The Batman felt somewhat responsible for Carlo's condition and saw to it that he would be incarcerated in the special inmate wing of Blackgate, alongside Victor Fries and Kirk Langstrom. It was there that the Bat hoped he could be rehabilitated and possibly return to society someday. The police did not want to send him to Arkham, as they worried his physical appearance would be harmful to the mental state of the patients there. Blackgate did not have the desired effect. In fact, it had the opposite. Clayface's hatred continued to fester during his incarceration. He became the latest in the line of freakish and tragic villains to appear in Gotham City. Clayface died in Blackgate years later, well before the prison closed down. Some attribute his death to his physical condition, and others claim it as part of a conspiracy involving the heads of the Gotham Opera House. But whatever the case, Basil Carlo was merely the latest in the worst Gotham had to offer. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. Or in the case of Basil Carlo, clay to clay. In the early 1920s, the streets were rocked by Gotham's gang war. On one side was the Falcone crime family, on the other was an unexpected new player. Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot was born to Esther Cobblepot and Bill Tucker, an abusive drunkard. Bill used to beat Oswald and his mother with an umbrella. The only reason he had a child with Esther was because he wanted an in to the Cobblepot's wealth. This only caused Esther's father to disown her and cut all ties. Bill soon ran off, having become bored with the family he'd never wanted. Esther, impoverished and abandoned, had to move to the slum known as the Barrows. Though she did not have much money, she spent every cent she had on making Oswald feel special. She fed him well and dressed him in nice clothes. Her hope for him was that he would one day be able to re-enter the high society she had once been a part of. Unfortunately, this only led to bullying from his peers regarding his weight and the clothes he wore. It earned him a nickname that he hated, but that would follow him for the rest of his life: the Penguin. Oswald realized he had a choice. Either he could continue to bear the brunt of bullying, or he could retaliate and strike back. He chose the latter. Taking an umbrella, the instrument of so much abuse in his childhood, he confronted the biggest bully on his street. He used the umbrella to break the bully's nose and arm, thus gaining the respect of his peers through fear. One thing led to another. First, he took over his street, then his block, and then his entire neighborhood. By the time Oswald was 25, he ran half of Gotham's underworld. He now bore the name Penguin with pride. Eventually, he attracted the attention of the Falcone crime family. Carmine Falcone was the last remnant of Sicilian mobsters in Gotham. His organization had been around the longest in the city. With the coming of the Batman, however, it became clear that Carmine was unable to adapt to this new brand of costumed vigilantes and criminals. Falcone, feeling threatened by the Penguin, made the first move in what erupted into the Gotham gang wars, which ultimately led to Falcone's organization crumbling. Penguin, now with Gotham's underworld at his fingertips, began to utilize this new brand of masked criminal. He was known to employ the Killer Moth Gang from time to time, and also hired Floyd Lawton, aka Deadshot, to assassinate Batman. Reveling in his newfound wealth and power, Oswald saw fit to track down his mother's family and murder them in retribution for disowning his mother. He also made connections with Al Capone, based in Chicago. Together, they struck a deal to take down Big Jim Colosimo. Capone agreed to stay out of Gotham in exchange for help taking down his biggest rival. Oswald agreed, enjoying his uncontested reign over Gotham City. Over the years, Oswald created a network of illegal speakeasies and booze runners. The most popular legitimate front for his illegitimate business was the Iceberg Lounge. This nightclub brought in all sorts of people from middle class and high society. It was considered a mark of wealth to be seen at Oswald's club. Umbrellas remained a trademark of his personal brand. He had craftsmen customize them to suit a whole number of purposes, ranging from guns to knives to disguised billy clubs. The object of his childhood fear would become the fear of others. All of these ventures made him one of the richest men in America, with even the Batman struggling to keep him locked up. It took the team of Lucius Fox and Barbara Gordon, aka Oracle, to take him down. They tracked down Oswald's accountant, Noah Cutler. Using the information obtained from Cutler's arrest, they determined that Oswald had not declared or paid any income tax in over 10 years. The Batman brought this evidence to the Treasury Department, and they were finally able to bring down the Penguin. Even though he was arrested for tax evasion, there were plenty of other nefarious and more gruesome crimes he committed. The name of the Penguin struck fear into the hearts of criminals and law-abiding citizens alike. He was not, however, the only bird-related scourge to plague Gotham, as was about to come to light. Towards the end of his incarceration at Blackgate Federal Penitentiary, Oswald became severely ill and was released to Gotham General Hospital, where his condition worsened and he eventually passed away. The Penguin's empire had crumbled as well, marking the end of traditional organized crime in Gotham City. Many would try to obtain the legendary status that the Penguin had achieved, but all would fail. Oswald Cobblepot was, and always will be, the most successful crime lord Gotham has ever seen. Pamela Lillian Isley was born to a wealthy, progressive family. Her mother was from France, having met Pamela's father in America. Early on, education was one of the family's top priorities. Pamela's mother challenged her to think outside the norms of everyday society, whether in regards to traditional marriage, education, or being a woman in 1920s America. This led to a very strict educational regimen for Pamela, as well as extensive household rules. From a young age, Pamela felt very small next to the high expectations of her parents. Pamela discovered and became fascinated with plants and botany. The plants were her refuge if life ever became overwhelming. Once she reached young adulthood, she went to Gotham University to study botany, staying true to her family's progressive nature. She was top of her class, and it became evident that Pamela was extremely intelligent. She completely absorbed everything she learned about botany and plant life. Because of this, she was set to be one of the first women in a field that most other women could only dream of being in. Pamela truly only cared for her studies, but she was quite beautiful. Many boys in her classes vied for her affections, but she cared little for any of their advances. The young woman had been denied her own desires for so long by her parents. Eventually, however, her love for her studies became fixated upon her professor, a married man. She found him very attractive, but it wasn't until the professor began to notice her attraction to him that the two began an affair. Pamela's professor took advantage of her attraction to him, making illustrious promises to her. He promised he would leave his wife and family for her. He even promised to help her gain prestige in her future career. Pamela was so enamored by these promises that she couldn't see the emptiness behind them. Eventually, word got out about their affair. Panicking, Pamela's professor cut off their relationship, returning to his family. Pamela was expelled from Gotham University, crushing her dreams of becoming a full-fledged botanist. Her family, upon learning of her escapades, also cut her off, leaving her without any money. Pamela was heartbroken. She felt lied to, used, and alone. She promised herself that she would never be taken advantage of again, and that she would never allow herself to be the victim of the story. Realizing that she was without money and resources, she began to form a plan. Long had she spurned the advances of boys in her classes, but she would utilize the beauty she had been born with. Pamela would meet with and form romantic entanglements with young socialite men, using her charm to gain gifts and money from them. The way she would pick her targets was with the help of women who had been used and cast aside, just like she had. The men she targeted were self-centered, misogynistic, and had left a trail of destruction in their wake, ruining the lives of these disenfranchised women. She also targeted other men who used their positions of power to take advantage of the working class. This worked to an extent.
To him before that.
We're almost there, Conway.
Just keep your eyes open. Something could still happen.
Spider Conway. Don't know what he's worrying about. He's only got the sweetest deal of the century. All he's got to do is make like a canary at the Crime Commission hearings, and he gets 10 years off his time.
It ain't him getting to the hearings that's got him spooked, Commish. It's somebody else getting to him before that.
There's a bomb in the boat! Abandoned ship!
Remind me never to think of you as a good luck charm.
Over here! Coming!
Carver, I want Dock Street cordoned off. 3 blocks in both directions. Move it!
Hardesty, call forensics.
No sign of Conway anywhere, Detective.
Start dragging a bay. taking me off the case? What kind of shuck and jive is this, Jim? You know what I had to go through just to get Conway out of Stonegate. But it's worth it if his testimony can take down Rupert Thorne.
Which is why Thorne looks good for the bombing. But if I let you go after Thorne, a lot of ugly ancient history is bound to come up. I gotta relieve you, Harv. You know that. Unless you want internal affairs all over you like a bad rash.
Ancient history. Yeah, right.
A real page-turner, isn't it?
Indeed. Bullock was suspected of accepting graft from Thorne 2 years ago?
Right. But the case was dropped for lack of evidence. It was just before Spider Conway went to prison. And at the time of his arrest, Conway was working for Thorne. So he might know something that Bullock doesn't want revealed.
Surely you can't think this Bullock person planted that bomb.
I'm not sure yet what to think. After the explosion, I went out to Stonegate Island to check out the dock the boat left from. I found this.
A toothpick? Where in the world?
Hey, anybody here? Anybody here? Anybody here?
No! Not you! It can't be! Stay back! Ah!
You'd better have the money to pay for that.
Here's how it works, slime ball. I have questions, and if you have answers, I'll leave you alone.
Oh, I got plenty of answers. 38 caliber answers. Now then, you were saying?
I was saying, you'd better hope your men are very good shots. It's too hot in here. Let's get some air.
Wait! Stop! I'll tell you anything you want.
Did you order Spider Conway blown up?
That loser? I wouldn't wipe my shoes on him. Conway's got nothing on me. Let him talk. He could have talked his head off. No problem.
Okay.
Oh! Just stand there, you clowns. Get me down.
No trace of Conway yet, Commissioner.
Now keep at it. I'll meet you back at headquarters. I've had cats that made more noise than you.
We need to talk about Bullock. I think he might have been responsible for the bomb.
Come on, you know there was evidence that Conway falsely implicated Bullock at the Graft inquest?
But you have no proof Conway lied.
Look, Harvey Bullock is hard to work with, even harder to like. But he's a good combat man. He's clean.
Commissioner?
Something?
Not a trace.
All right. Hold them back in. We'll have to assume the worst. Batman? For once, my friend, I hope your instincts are wrong.
Watch yourself. She didn't try to bite you. She didn't try to bite you. I would have did something. Don't pick her up like that. Chill. I know, but I know she don't like to do that. Don't lick to death. Give a licking. She's scared. When she does that, she doesn't do it hard. Unless like this in her face, then she'll get you good. She got my nose good before.
That winter time too, I had a bruise.
My nose was red for 3 days. Spike hasn't blinded me yet.
The whole year with you, I remember. Oh, yeah, okay, the red side of the red. I'm the cat on you. The red side of the red. Boys. The red is my little baby girl.
Isn't that crazy?
Big girl now. One for shaking me.
Ah, she was. She's so happy. Happy puppy. That net. What is this? Navy SEALs? First time I've ever been a Navy SEAL.
Still intent on that scale or what have you, I see.
Oh.
Believe it or not, the cellular structure is human, but the texture of it is almost reptilian.
Do tell.
Bullock might not be the primary suspect after all.
Running through them with a suit. Running through.
And when you let it get cold,
I like that name for a girl. Lyric.
Microwavable crock.
Lyric? I think that's. Why don't you like that?
Imagine if I got.
Oh my God! I'm not talking about no black girl. I'm talking about white girl, female.
As you can see, this recreation of the crocodile's natural habitat, crocodiles make their lairs in underwater caves.
No.
Of course.
I didn't want to put some other than body in. I like music, so you don't understand. No way, L-O-P.
Batman! Get us out of here! Shh! No telling what he'll do.
No, time you admitted it. Dude, why am I getting ran through right now?
Terrific. Just what I need now.
And bro, there is no way I'm
Pay
playing.
no prize yourself.
Why are my shots going crazy? Is it because my machine got too up?
What can I tell you? Being a reptile man ain't pretty, but it's got its upside. Like having the strength of a crocodile, for instance. But I guess you've learned that by now, huh? The hard way. They used to call Killer Croc the meanest dude in the Wrestling Federation. Now they'll call him the guy who iced the Batman.
What are you using? Oh, over the power. Really? Dude, this sucks crazy. Yeah, sorry. Oh my god.
To that spot for over an hour, Master Bruce.
It's taken me that long to search through all these newspapers on microfiche.
I'm just getting straight shit on everywhere I go.
See? He started out a carnival sideshow attraction, then became a pro wrestler. 2 years later, Croc had moved to Gotham City and turned to crime. He used to be strictly penny-handed. Until now, I'd never heard of him. But according to this, Bullock busted him, based on the testimony from Conway and Joey the Snail.
Then Croc has escaped.
And now it's payback time.
You have Conway and the Snail. They couldn't clear Detective Bullock.
True, but that won't get us Croc. He won't return to his lair now that I know where it is. I'll have to make him come to us.
Hey, what are you doing? Fucking retarded. I hate when people do this. Well, yeah, keep playing.
Drive.
Croc, how did you
Escape? Simple. The guards don't think about the sewers. No one does except me.
It was you who set me up for Spider and Joey.
You got it. I wanted you to sweat it out in a cell for a while like I did. To know what it feels like the way I do. Huh? You?
Oh, hey, how is it that over the sky?
Give it up, Croc. I know everything now. You planted that toothpick on the dock, didn't you? And you impersonated Bullock at the jail.
Yeah, and it would have gone down smooth if you hadn't butted in. But hey, I'm adaptable. When you grow up looking like I do, you gotta learn to go with the flow. I'll just take care of you first, then Bullock.
Where'd pop up?
See, this ain't no bat cave. You're on my turf.
How is it reaching so far?
Buenas a todos y bienvenidos a Tyson TV. Delta Force tiene un mensaje para la comunidad de Call of Duty y la de Battlefield. No lo han dicho así, así os lo... cuento yo, pero es la pura realidad mientras os dejo aquí algunas imágenes del juego, mientras al mismo tiempo voy a entraros en detalles y enseñaros toda la nueva información de cuándo... Buenas a todos y bienvenidos a Tyson TV. Delta Force tiene un mensaje para la comunidad de Call of Duty y la de Battlefield. No lo han dicho así, así os lo cuento yo, pero es la pura realidad mientras os dejo aquí algunas imágenes del juego, mientras al mismo tiempo voy... a Tyson TV. Delta Force tiene un mensaje para la comunidad de Call of Duty y la de Battlefield. No lo han dicho así, así os lo cuento yo, pero es la pura realidad mientras os dejo aquí algunas imágenes del juego, mientras al mismo tiempo voy a entraros en detalles y enseñaros toda la nueva información de cuándo podéis jugar, en qué plataforma, a partir de qué día, qué es lo que va a tener y no va a tener el juego. Va a tener skins buenas, no va a tener skins tipo Call of Duty, va a ser como Battlefield, no va a ser como... Todo lo han respondido, así que vamos a entrar en detalles. Lo primero nos aseguran, y es lo más importante que todos y cada uno de ustedes quieren saber: ¿cuándo pueden empezar a jugar? Punto número 1. En Steam, a partir del próximo 14 de octubre, estamos hablando ya de la semana que viene, el lunes de la semana próxima, todo el mundo va a poder jugar en PC a este juego se desconoce si también en móviles. De momento solo en PC y durante un total de 7 días. Una semana. Actualmente el juego está en fase prelanzamiento en China. En China están utilizando el Early Access como conejillo de indias para pulir el juego a la perfección en las plataformas de PC y móviles, ya con cross progresión, incluso crossplay de algunos que quieran jugar con sus amigos si tienen el móvil en PC por poder, pueden hacerlo también. Y todo eso se está probando en China de momento con unos resultados excelentes. Dicho todo esto, han anunciado y respondido a más cosas. Primero de todo, una de las principales preocupaciones que tiene la gente: soy de consola, ¿cuándo lo puedo jugar? Nos han dicho que para garantizar a que el juego esté perfectamente pulido y que podáis jugar a este juego en consolas, no vais a tener que esperar mucho. No van a compartir todavía en qué fecha vais a poder probar una beta, pero sí las fases de lanzamiento. El Early Access de China es el primero, después viene el de PC, que es, lo dicho, del 14 a partir del 14 al 21 de octubre, 7 días, y después, finales de octubre, seguramente, primeros de noviembre, va a salir ya el juego en Early Access en PC y en móviles a nivel mundial. Después de todo eso tendremos que esperar hasta entre enero y marzo para el lanzamiento en consolas, que será escalonado. Nos explican por qué lo hacen el lanzamiento escalonado. No quieren cometer los mismos errores que han cometido Battlefield y Call of Duty. ¿Esto cómo es? Lanzar el juego directamente en todas las plataformas, tanto antigua generación de consolas, Play 4, etc., y las nuevas Xbox y Play 5 y PC, todo a la vez, y en demás móviles, y que se vuelva una locura porque haya un error, lo quieren arreglar en un sitio, al meter el parche, eso se...
This guy might be fucking. Is this guy legit or is he just a fucking god? This guy's shot is god tier, dude.
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone. Keep your eyes up for prize contracts. You'll earn more buck for your bang. You're losing ground.
What a shot, dude. GG's, boys. Level 19. I fucking knew it, dude. I fucking knew it. That guy's fucking cheating, dude. Unbelievable, dude. This guy is fucking blatantly cheating, dude. Unfucking believable, dude. GG's, boys. Well, first game on, died to a blatant fucking cheater, and I'm the one that gets fucking reported in Ricochet, dude. Unbelievable, dude. Unfucking believable.
We're inbound now.
The fucking irony, dude.
Here comes the snap.
That's, boys, that's this. I knew that guy was doing some weird fucking shit, dude. First game on, dude. Geiger counter, it's insane, dude. To tell me that they're fucking active, to tell me that Ricochet, tell me so many fucking things, dude. I mean, brother, that is, she with it. Thank you so much for still coming through, you guys. I mean, he literally won the game and then left. Unless he got ricocheted, I don't know. Guys, a level 19 is not, I mean, dude, I literally, as soon as I chowed that guy, I thought that guy was cheating. Thank you guys so much for still coming through with the gifted subs for the dub. I mean, I got second place. Dude, that's fucking tough, dude. Hidden Ace, one more time. Hidden Ace, I appreciate the fuck out of you, my man. Hidden Ace, baby, let's go! Hidden Ace had the fucking 5 up in here. Cronus Vlogs up into the dot of the prime. Welcome to the motherfucking Scav squad. Cronus Vlogs, thank you for the prime. Welcome, brother. Big Dog up into the dot of the day one for the third up into the dot. She motherfucking win, baby. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. The fucking sheriff's in town, motherfucker, baby. Yeah. Throw me in the back of the fucking cruiser, baby, and have your way with me. I've been a bad boy. I've been a real bad boy. Ha 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 ha. Pickle Nick up in here. That's a fat, thick, girthy, veiny pickle. Yikes. Pickle Nick, thank you for the 5 gifted up in here as well, brother. Pickle Nick up into the
FJX conversion kit, maybe. Might not be a bad option. Oh, man. Freaking this Lockman Shroud is going to be a little tough. Roy, did you go crazy? I love that. That is sick. That is crazy. I love it. I love it. Tracker, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Did you like the Owen gun? I did like the Owen gun. I missed that. Connor, were you and Roy in Metaphor stream earlier? What other content creators do you guys watch besides me? Movement WSP9. Yeah, oh, we're going with Warzone 1 guns, guys. Warzone 1 guns. Right now, Swinky's trying to help me crim before the season ends in 7 days. Should really focus on that end game, Deuce. Joe Woe? I'm not Joe Woe. Why does everybody say I'm Joe Woe? Why does everybody say I'm Joe Woe? The Owen gun was so good. I agree with that. I agree with that. Mac 10? We could do the Mac 10. What was Mac 10, chat? Mac 10 was Cold War, right? Lumpy. Oh, you and TCAP. Oh, yeah. Brolic, Meta, Zyro, TCAP, Joe, Twin Tender Man. Pirate Software, that's... Yeah, he's got good content. Dream Strike, Knight. Play with Joe? Yeah, we should do something with Joe here soon. I don't know Opix, Maximus. BJ, you would not believe how many comments I get about me being Joe. It's actually more than I'd like to admit. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. Game number 2. Nice little clutch there in end game there. We are going with... Chilling up here. I don't know if I like this play. OBS connection. Wow, that is just wild that my stun doesn't hit there. How are you guys? Dude, watch the aim assist. This is crazy, man. Watch the aim assist. That's so ridiculous, dude. He's full stunned. It's so ridiculous. It's just... chat, you should... I guess we just gotta know that stuns just don't work. They just don't work. Can you guys remind me to change my... I have to change my whatchamacallit after this. I have to change my secondary on my... I have to change the secondary that I can buy. Dude, that's just wild there. You know what's crazy? We had that team right where we wanted them. I would have killed that guy. They would have been flying in. They would have been separated. We would have been cooking. We would have been cooking. We're not doing this. Roy, you already gifted them all to Metaphor today. Roy, what the heck are we doing? What the frick are we doing? Roy, what the frick are we doing with 20 gifted? Roy with 20 freaking gifted. Roy, let's go. That is absolutely insane. Holy smokes. What do we got here? Chat, is this thing a pea shooter? I think it might be. Roy, what the frick? Oh, you're playing top. So we're just gonna... Oh my gosh, man. Chat, can we get a W spam for Roy, please? Can we get an absolute W spam for Roy? That is crazy. Can't even pay attention right now. I'm in a weird spot. Oh my gosh, man. We're going to keep rocking and rolling with these. Roy, I seriously cannot thank you enough for the freaking 20 gifted. Holy smokes, man. I'm just dead. I can't hear anything. I just hear footsteps. That's it. I have not reloaded that spare the whole time. Dude, I can't believe how slow. I can't believe how... Yeah, I know. I can't believe how slow the ADS time is on this M13. It's so slow. Stuck him. Oh, I have no plates. Where'd my plates go? Where'd my plates go? Trey Money, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. People like him don't get enough recognition. He's a really good coach. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Chat, do we dare try? I forgot. I didn't have the Lockman. Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this M13 here. Eat Curry, thanks so much for the follow. Let's go, baby. I'm dead. Dude, the guy just sitting up here. Chat, look at these guys. Look how passionate they are. Look at them. 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 Best program to aim better? Exclamation point practice. Exclamation point practice. Roy, seriously, I cannot thank you enough for the freaking 20 gifted. I don't know what that puts us at, but we are on the 879, chat, is our record. $879 is the highest we've ever been at. I don't like that team. That team's got to come fight me. I don't know where they are, and they had a UE up. Guarantee you they had a UE up. Do they still have a UE up? I have no idea. Haha, payback, baby. Where are you guys? I think that's 3 down there. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's the best smoke I've ever thrown in my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I've ever thrown a better smoke in my life.
Resurgence window is ending. Watch your 6.
Dude, would you do something besides just running scared downstairs?
Enemies are dropping into the...
This team is just getting blendered. Watch this guy sitting up top here, because he was sitting up there last time. So it wouldn't surprise me if he stayed up there. Why are you just... Wait, why are you pre-aiming that? He saw me. Wow. I can't believe he saw me there. Kimmy, thank you so much for the sub on... thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. And Stan, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, I almost broke my legs. Wait, now I can't buy loadout again. 40 round mag is the way to go on the Shroud. Do you have enough? I don't think you have enough ammo there to go 40, do you? I don't think... There's no way you have enough ammo, right? There's no way you have enough ammo. If you run the 40. Do you? Chat, yay or nay?
Grenade out! They bored, so I killed them. Hostile UAV in the area. Got you covered.
Thank you. Chat, give me a detour. We win this game. Give me a detour, we win this game. Green Leonidas with the gifted. Green Leonidas, let's freaking go, baby.
Enemy soldier incoming. Standing by. Solid work evading the enemy. Clear for now.
Green Leonidas, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I appreciate it. Where's this guy? What? Wow, dude. That was nasty. Good shot by that guy. Holy smokes. How many does this guy have? He's a Crimson player. Not gonna show me. Not gonna show me. I was gifted, so I'll be gifting someone else. Green Leonidas, let's go. I think you got the gifted from freaking Roy's big old 20 bomb. Holy smokes, Roy got dropping an absolute bomb. Did he hear you? I think he just checked it. He might have heard me, actually. Oh, we gotta change this. Chat, you guys really think 40 here? You guys really think... It's probably a little risky. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. Oh, we gotta rank these. What are we going here? What are we going? Where are we going? We're going M13. Man, this is gonna be... Chad, I might go M4. Isn't the M4... like, we could go M4, right? Where's the M13? Where's the M13? We'll go with it. It's just the bullet velocity on it is so bad. Can we get this thing? We might be able to do that, actually. Go a little high velo action. Try to get this velocity up a little bit. It's all visual. I'm going to try that, chat. Nah, I feel like we got to run it as is. I lied. We got to run it as is. We gotta run it as is. As is, chat. As freaking is. Okay. What are we doing first? What are we doing first here? Let's do M13 first, which is Quartermaster Brew and Paracord 60 and Hemlock. I'm nervous. I don't think the TTK is gonna be it. Use the FFAR. The FFAR is going to be so bad. Confused. We did the Kilo already. Use a laser instead of a barrel. I don't know if you need it though. There's a definitely the Lockman Shroud is one that's like all over the place. Okay, muzzle, barrel, optic, magazine, and underbarrel. Paracord here for the horizontal. Quartermaster, right? Quartermaster, Brew and Echelon. Optic is, chat, what optic are we running with? AIM Op V4, right? Here we are. Well, AIM Op V4 action, and the magazine is the 60. This is War Zone 1. Barrel gives tack sprint speed, laser doesn't? Yeah, Norman, I would agree with that. Yeah, this is for a bit confused. This is for a video. Car 98 meta again, it's definitely in the meta conversation. Absolutely is. I think the biggest thing is like, can you make your shots with it? Is the Diablo vid not happening anymore? I haven't heard from him. I should probably reach out to him again. What would be similar to the Marco? It's a great question. Sakib, I'm not 100% sure. Thank you so much for the 2. Definitely something that I should probably reach back out to him for. Chat, we are 8 followers away from 8,600 on Twitch, and we are 51 likes away from 300 on YouTube. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that follow button. Let's rock. Newbie, that is crazy. Wait, whoever said 40, you actually might be right here. 40 does feel really good. Big Chungus #1. What's going on, baby? It's good to see you. You got to run the Car 98 for this video? You might actually... I probably should. Where is this guy? Where is that guy? Norman, I think you might be right. This actually doesn't feel too bad. Chad, do we go Car 98? I don't think I can go Car 98 and... I don't think I can go Car 98 and Lockman Shroud. That would just be miserable. You know what we could do, chat? Actually, we could... What if we went, like... Not for this video, but for another one? People are backing out. Chat, what if not for this one, but for another one, we did Car 98 and the M4? Remember the M4 sniper support? Can I try the SPR? I don't know about today, because I got to get these videos. We need another gameplay here. Would be cool to see you and Z-Laner. I should probably start trying to collab with people. But I just kind of like mind my own business. I just kind of chill.
Yo, that don't work. Yo, what's
about to design Old Wayne Tower.
Every Saturday, the Gotham Gazette includes a small lifestyles piece called Gotham Is. In the column, random Gothamites are asked to complete the sentence. Gotham is, using 3 words or less. The Gazette has been running the Gotham Is column for years, ever since I was a boy. Here's some of the words used to describe Gotham in the past few weeks. Damned. Cursed. Bedlam. Murderous. Gotham is villainous. Gotham is a losing game. Gotham is hopeless.
Let's get no way out, Bats.
I want his space.
Time to die. Gotta tear you apart, Bats. You're all ours now.
There's no place like home. Once in a while, someone names one of the city's villains as their answer to the Gotham Is question. Usually it's some kid, a teenager going for shock value. But now and then someone actually tries to make the argument that the city is best reflected in its villains.
Come here, yourself.
For example, Gotham is Two-Face, meaning Gotham is a city at odds with itself. Or Gotham is Killer Croc, meaning the city is little more than a cannibalistic monster. I've seen a few Mr. Freezes, 2 Black Masks. Lately I've seen a couple of new names appear too. But for me, Gotham's criminals,
after I kill you, I'm gonna become you.
Whether old or new, will never define this city.
Oh, got him.
Because in the end, they're simple and cowardly, ruled by predictive desires. Granted, now and then, one of them will do something that catches even me off guard.
Nowhere else to run now, Bats. Ooh, you're in trouble now.
Something particularly depraved. Or twisted.
There you are. And here I was beginning to think you were going to die without even saying goodbye.
You ready to do this?
Always so serious. Fine then. Let's cut to the punchline!
Uncle, what are you doing, you turned-out piece of shit?
What are you doing?
Behind you.
Got it!
What the hell is going on here?
Of course, one of the most common answers to the Gotham Is question is Batman. Gotham is Batman. Gotham is Batman City. Gotham is the Bat. All answers I'm partial to myself. Still, I like to think a vote for Batman is a broader affirmation. A vote for all of Gotham's heroes. A vote for the GCPD. Honest, tireless men like Commissioner Jim Gordon.
I still don't understand. A full-scale breakout with no warning?
It wasn't a breakout. I've been investigating a weak link at Arkham Asylum. A guard named Matthews. I was coming for him. He sprang the doors to stop me.
Not Dan Matthews. He's one of the best men on payroll there. I've known him since he was an academy boy.
He's got a father with health problems. A divorce looming.
He and Bella are getting divorced? I had no idea.
Neither does she.
Ah, jeez. Who's the new pal?
Cocktail waitress. Iceberg Lounge. Impressive sheet of her own.
And you found him out how? You had a man on the inside?
Something like that.
Dan Matthews on the take at Arkham. There's nobody the scum of Gotham can't get to, is there?
I wouldn't say that.
One more thing. On the CC footage, it almost looks like you're fighting alongside the Joker. Tell me that'd be ridiculous.
That'd be ridiculous, Jim.
That's what I figured. Just a simple trick of the light.
These guys are so bad.
it's true. You do actually practice brooding. I'd always suspected.
I'm working.
With the computer off.
Satisfied?
Impressed.
It's a new system I'm testing. A contact lens with a remote access processor linked to the computer down here. Take off the EMP mask.
Believe me, I've been dying to. I just wanted to make sure you disconnected from the mainframe first. So, a contact lens with remote access.
Meaning anywhere you go, the Batcave goes with you. Huh. Now that sounds healthy.
We should go.
For what it's worth, how did I do as him?
Are you asking me if you were convincing as a homicidal maniac, Dick?
I suppose I am.
Then yes. As a matter of fact, you were.
Score 1 for Alfred's School of Acting. Still, I can't believe you left me in there an extra day.
I needed to be sure it was Matthews. Besides, with all you've been shouldering lately, I figured you could use the day off.
A day off? In Arkham? Only you, Bruce. Only you.
Finally.
It's a who's who of Gotham in there.
Facial recognition, go.
Facial recognition. Algorithms. Activating. Tim Drake. Former Robin. Current Red Robin. Teen Titans member. Access level. High. Damian Wayne. Current Robin. Access level. High. Dick Grayson. Former Robin. Current Nightwing. Access level. High.
Tell me he's not using facial recognition for the party.
The party? He's using it to remember who you are, Jay.
And zing.
Run diagnostic.
And you call yourself a detective.
Lately, I've been asking myself the Gotham is question a lot. What is Gotham City to me, Bruce Wayne? In a single word. Home? Family? Purpose? But the truth, the real truth is, I couldn't answer the question. But then I remembered something, friends. I remembered something my father, Thomas Wayne, used to say to me before bed sometimes. Back when I was a boy and I'd had a bad day. When I'd fallen down a hole in the ground or skinned my knee. At the end of a day like that, he'd pat my head and he'd say, "Bruce, tomorrow is one dream away." That was his phrase. Sentimental, I know, but still, it worked for me. Now, as most of you know, my father died when I was just...
The Willis guy. You guys are fucking shit!
Across town.
I didn't
As
imagine.
you can imagine, the days following his death were the worst of my life. Days of anger, and sadness.
Oh, weren't you the one that was camping in the closet the whole game? Okay, what? I was running on the whole map the whole game. Oh, then that was you. Whatever. I thought that was you. I thought you were the one that was camping. Right, yo, shut the fuck up, bitch ass hoe.
Now, why am I telling you this? Well, friends, my point is this. When circumstances are challenging or frightening, asking ourselves what our city is pointless. Because all we will see when we look around at the buildings and streets will be our own fears, our own frustrations, our own demons. But if we stop looking to the present and the past, and instead we look to the future, if we ask ourselves what can be, what will be tomorrow, then we're asking the right question. Because to hope, to dream, to predict, is to shape the city yourself, rather than to be shaped by it. So, putting my money where my mouth is, next month, Wayne Enterprises will begin investing, aggressively and immediately, in Gotham's future. Working with various domestic design firms, we've already set in motion an initiative to rebuild some of Gotham's most derelict industrial neighborhoods. From there, we plan on moving boldly to expand and modernize Gotham's public transit system. I cannot tell you how excited, how hopeful I am about these plans. Much more will be relayed in the